Hello, everybody. Welcome to another podcast. So we today have our very special guest, uh, Mr. Adarsh, and we would like to welcome him to our podcast. He's environmentalist, a mental health, uh, mental wellness coach, and he's a mentor, and he's very concerned about humanity and environment, and he's involved in many things to protect our nature. So today he's going to teach us about a very wonderful topic, primary water. I think it's much better to listen to him than me because he's the special person here. So I would gladly like to welcome you, Mr. Adarsh, to this podcast.
Yeah,
And please, if you like, introduce yourself and then tell what we would like to get to know, like what you are doing these days, and then let's get to the topic. Thank you so much for
sure, sure, sure. Okay, okay. First of all, let me introduce myself. I am Adarsh. I am an environmentalist. And prior to that, first of all, I thank Mr. Sanjivana for inviting me as a guest to present about primary water. As each and every human who is in this earth should know about this primary water and so on. So, not more into this, I'll talk and let's move into the topic. And Sanjeevna, share the screen.
uh-huh.
We'll move into the
And
topics.
Mr. Adarsh, please tell like what you are up to doing these days. You said you were making a program.
Yeah,
Uh,
yeah. I'm
uh,
working for that program,
uh-huh.
and it's a program like how people can engage with the environment and they can earn from particular environment. I'll just tell you an example what I am doing.
Uh-huh.
Indian market has a large amount of lotus seeds, and it has a huge market in all over world. The price of this lotus is just 20 rupees per flower. We'll collect all those seeds from those flower and we'll dry that and we'll export to other countries where they are in need of it. I am in like of such an plan to
Uh-huh.
organize such an course and themes which will be benefited for people where they engage with the environment and they learn from this and so
Uh-huh.
thus we are conserving and we are having an way of earning from this environment.
Oh, wonderful.
So that's a dual advantage.
That will help many
I
people.
am working for that and I'll update you as soon as possible.
Okay, okay. That's wonderful.
Yeah.
Uh, so is it okay if I share
Yeah,
the screen?
yeah, sure,
Uh,
sure.
it. Thank you.
Yeah,
So we
yeah,
this one, right?
yeah, exactly.
Uh-huh.
So first of all, what's primary water? Let's know what's primary water and we'll move into deep about primary water.
Sure.
Primary water just refers to the water which is formed under or within its mantle so that they are deep trenched. They are also named to be as magnetic water or juvenile water.
Mm-hmm.
This is a specification of primary water. Then characteristics of this primary water. Let's look about the characteristics of primary water. It's the unique isotopic signature and geological process involved in this creation. This explains that there is a chemical reaction involved in this particular formation of this primary water under the layer of earth, earth's mantle. There
Mm-hmm.
are two categories of water. Groundwater is just surface water, and this primary water is beyond the surface level. Ground level, and they are uh, mainly they are present in areas where volcanic trenches or faults. How will I explain? It's that earth fault cracks areas where
Uh-huh.
they are present. So they are viably present in such areas.
Mm-hmm.
I'll tell you examples of countries where they are considering this primary water and they are being reducing the cause of scarcity, water scarcity there
Mm-hmm.
in this session. Next, another important thing is that they are not part of the normal hydraulic cycle as that of they are not part of the rain cycle.
Mm-hmm.
That how this groundwater is being recharged. We are being recharged by formation of chemicals such as hydrogen and oxygen are being combined through this heat, high amount of heat under this Earth's mantle, so that this primary water is being created. Another thing is about this purity of this primary water. As it's deep into this Earth's layer, they are having no contaminants and so on. So they are considered to be as the purest form of water. Then next to that is we'll move more to this primary water and we'll look more about it. Sanjay, next slide.
Next slide. The content.
Yeah, next slide.
The next one.
Next slide. Yeah, the next one, significance.
Okay.
Okay. Then we'll move on to the significance of this particular primary water and how it's having impact on geological process, and it's a solution for us. Earlier mentioned, it's a solution for water scarcity, and it's a challenge. It's challenging to the normal hydrophonic cycle. Hydrological cycle. First, let's look about its geological process. Based on the tectonic or volcanism, we'll tell the movement of these plates as tectonic plate movements, where when it occur in seabeds, it's a cause for tsunamis. When it comes to the terrestrial area, it's cause for separation of plates and so on. These are the areas where these particular primary water being replenished. They are not how us will say they are replenishing source. They are not as non. They are they are renewable source. We can continuously use the particular same. Then the need for water scarcity, potential for the water scarcity. Countries such as Africa, Australia has been implemented with this particular gain of this primary water using a team of certain experts who are in geological field. They have calculated the cracks and faults in the tectonic plates, and they have analyzed the primary water's presence in that particular country. As we know that Africa is a country that's the topmost level for scarcity, water scarcity. They have implemented the particular plan and they are working on for the same to get primary water. It's the purest form of water that's being ever in this planet Earth. Then next to this hydrological cycle, normal hydrological cycle is such a way that rain comes, water comes through the rivers and ponds, and they get collected to the seabeds. From their evaporation occurs, sediment evaporation, and further condensation occurs, and again rain comes. This is a normal hydrological cycle. But here is a different thing that's just different from normal to that hydrological cycle in such a way that they are just formed due to the chemical reaction under this Earth's mantle. And we'll look more into this geological formation process, and send you the next slide.
Next slide. Going downward, right?
Yeah. Yeah. This is how this particular primary water is formed. First, we'll know about mantle dynamics. Next, the pressure reactions, and finally, the mineral interactions present in mantle dynamics is nothing other than mantle convections. They'll say that convections, how this mantle is being how they are helping the formation of this particular formation of this primary water, and this mantle convection and plate tectonics plays an first primary key role in the formation of this water. And secondly to that is high pressure. As we know that pressure decreases as we move deep into this earth. Pressure decreases, so that this pressure is also a causative agent for the formation of primary water. Then the mineral interactions. You know that normal rocks is being rich with minerals. These water grab those minerals from this particular rocks and such and mantle such a way that they get minerals, efficient minerals that are needed for a particular water. And then we'll move to the primary water sources where they are being present. Sanjina, next slide.
Okay.
Yeah, this one. Yeah. First, under the deep earth, as mentioned earlier. Secondly, through volcanic activity, and third, through tectonic regions. First, they are, as mentioned, deep under the deep earth. They are deep, generated deep within the earth. Then they are being transported to the surface. There are two scenarios where primary water could be, I mean, how we will say that we can use that primary water. Not using, we can, take primary water. First is that we'll, yeah,
extract
we'll,
it.
exactly that word,
Uh,
extract. How we'll extract is that two ways. First,
uh,
this I actually mentioned by geological experts will test this particular area of faults and they'll find the presence of this primary water. Then we'll dig those water and we'll extract that water. Second is that they generally replenish to the surface of this water. As many of these reels nowadays are being highlighting this primary water's replenishment in the surface layer, and they are highlighting that to be the purest form of water. And next to this primary water source is that volcanic activity mentioned, and tectonic region movement of this fault lines and subduction zones are the primary source for this primary water. And next to that is isotopic composition. We'll move to the next slide.
Okay.
Sanjay, next slide.
Sure,
Yeah.
sure.
Yeah. First, there are three isotopic compositions mainly that scientists and other researchers use to find this primary water. First is that of tracing the origin, where from this origin is being this primary water generated and its journey. And second to that is that of unique fingerprint. Their ratio is being another helping point for categorizing this as isotopic composition as primary water's ratio helps them differentiate between the normal water. Normal water, surface water, and this primary water. Their fingerprint ratio will say that, well, in single well, we'll say that it's fingerprint ratio, will say. And next to that is our implications for research, and we know about this topic, and we'll move with the next topic about Sanjana. Next slide.
Evidence and research.
Next.
Scientific studies.
Next.
The next one?
Yeah, next one. Yeah.
Okay.
This is a general topic where notable discoveries that this particular water is being discovered is that deep mine water. Many of them have been heard about this mine water and so on. Mine water is nothing other than a water which is obtained when after this mining process, this water will get extracted from that particular place, and that particular water is to be a mine water. Mine water. How first the areas where this is primary water is being found is that, as mentioned, deep mine water. Mine water, as mining process continues on, they dig on, and a scientist, I'll tell his name and his contribution to this primary water and at final of this session. And next is that of volcanic cases. Volcanic cases, analyzing of this volcanic gases confirms these are the strategies how they used to find this, or discoveries they have used to find this particular primary water. Particular composition of gas get released from this volcanic areas, and that gases confirms the presence of this primary water. And finally to that of the geothermal systems, we know that the earth's heat is being used to generate energy, and this is being an another discovery for the presence of primary water. Then we'll move to the next slide for how to detect this primary water and techniques for detection of primary water.
Mhm.
First, isotopic analysis. Second is that chemical analysis, and third, geophysical surveys.
Mhm.
First, as mentioned about the isotopic composition of this primary water,
Mhm.
they have stable isotopes like how analyzing the deuterium and oxygen 18 molecule helps us to helps mean geologists to categorize this particular primary water. This particular two isotopes are having an important role as compared to our primary water's presence.
Mhm.
These deuterium and oxygen 18 are isotopes. And second, through chemical analysis. And chemical analysis is that observing or studying that particular dissolved chemicals in that particular area and finding its unique composition and confirming the presence of primary water. And finally, through geophysical surveys where fault lines are being checked and volcanic areas are being checked, and will confirm the presence of this primary water through electromagnetic surveys. As this primary water has another name as magnetic water.
Mhm.
So this particular geophysical surveys confirm that they are from magnetic. They confirm that they are part of magnetic water as electromagnetic surveys are being conducted to determine the same.
Mhm.
And then next of that we'll move to this where how this addresses the water scarcity.
Okay. This one, no?
Yeah,
Uh-huh.
there are three ways where they address water scarcity:
Mm.
unconventional water source and sustainable water management, and third to that impact of it on agriculture. Unconventional water source is that normally what we use is that we'll say it as unconventional water, mean which is used for normal what daily day to day use, that is being treated to be as unconventional water. They addresses this particular issue, and they helps in sustainable water management. As we said that they are replenishing, renewable form of water. They replenishes and they helps in sustainable water management. And finally, it has a great role in the impact of agriculture. They helps to irrigate the plant and so on in future. And next to that of industrial uses, there are two important industrial uses of this particular primary water. They are used in mining operation and they are used in geothermal energy.
Mhm.
And then we will move with next challenges. We'll move to challenges and
Challenges.
challenges of this primary water.
Okay.
As everything consider, will have challenges and so on.
Uh-huh.
There are two main challenges. First is that of cost. Clearly, many money is to be invested for extracting this primary water, as we need to dig deep into this earth. We need to reach nearly mantle in such a way that we could extract this primary water. And secondly, that technical
Mhm.
hurdles in such a way that uh, as we move down, they'll have a signal issue of connecting with particular, I mean, this signal transmission errors. So that's another issue we are facing. Technical hurdles is another thing, and
Mhm.
deep drilling is that we should drill deep to the soil, and this is another technical issue that should be highlighted.
Mhm.
Then this particular water towards environmental impact. We'll move to the next slide.
Okay.
Yeah, subsurface disturbance.
Mhm.
Yeah, how they are impacting on this environment is this being highlighted in this particular slide. And subsurface disturbance is that when extracting this particular primary water, the surface area is being affected. As we move on with the drilling and other processes, the surface area is being affected first of all. And then sustainability concern, uh, we should use responsible usage of this particular primary water without depleting the source. That's another environmental impact that to be highlighted in this session. Then another two more regulatory and ethical issues. Ethical issues is that water rights. There is an framework for water. Will generally term it as water rights.
Okay.
How it's affect this ethical issue is that if a particular source is being found, some of them try to take their own ownership and have it for them, and they'll not allow others to have access to the same. This is the main water rights that to be highlighted. And uh, one person ownership and not having access to others to use the particular primary water. As mentioned, this is the pure form of water that to be ever seen this universe and so on. Not universe, in this planet. And we'll conclude with final slides, and then we'll look off with the future perspectives of there are two emerging technologies in this particular primary water field. First, sustainable practices. We should develop certain practices in such a way that we can extract this particular primary water for our use. There should be an strategy or criteria which is responsible and which is useful for our further future. Then advanced drilling technologies should be implemented if we are moving to this primary water. As drilling issues is already mentioned as an technical hurdles which is faced now. Then I'll tell you about some important things that I have noticed. Then countries, as mentioned, countries like California, Africa, Australia has tapped over specialized well where to extract this particular primary water. As I mentioned, and it has been found by an late hydrologist, Dr. Stephen Rice. He popularized the concept of this primary water, and he nearly contributed to 800 successful primary water wells all over the world. And that's all with primary water. If any queries related to primary water and so, you can feel free to contact me, and I'll help you with any of the queries and doubts. Okay.
Is there a way like they can find this primary water? For
technologies have been emerging that even a single person can access to this primary water. Now, as of now, it's a huge, huge. How I'll say that it's a huge problem for a normal people to access a particular water. As he need to drill deep nearly 1,000 feet. He should reach nearly the fault lines, and he should find the presence of this particular water there, and he should ensure that particular primary water is present there, and then he should start a drilling process. Finally, he should deploy some cost in that, and that's a huge normal people couldn't access for now. As of now, normal people couldn't have access to that. But the thing is that government can make certain plans and they can execute particular things. As mentioned, the places where volcanic where volcanoes are present in high, will have much more presence of this primary water. As of my study, as many areas where volcanoes are present, we'll have many access to this primary water. That's the first thing I noticed from my study.
Mm-hmm.
And second thing is that uh, many of the companies such as I couldn't remember the name. I just haven't glanced to the companies. There's companies who work for this oil extraction.
Uh-huh.
From this sea trenches,
Uh-huh.
they help these particular people in extracting this primary water too.
Uh-huh. So in ancient times, how had
Okay.
they brought it? Because there are some places where they have the wells, no, still from ancient times,
Yeah.
others. So
Yeah.
they, how did they get it?
Yeah.
Like in India also, there are these primary water wells, no, and in Makkah,
Yeah. Yeah.
it's
Exactly.
like that.
Yeah. Yeah.
So
Exactly. Yeah.
how do you think like they got it? Just the idea?
There is a form. Yeah. There is a form like that. I mentioned like how it replenishes from this. I mentioned you right.
Yeah.
They come up to the surface of this particular land surface and they come as that of fountains. This
Uh-huh.
particular primary water come to the surface of
Oh.
land surface and they move as normal water.
Uh-huh.
Like they come like as they from an borewell or so on.
Mm-hmm.
That's the way this Makkah, people from Makkah access this primary water in the way this primary water replenishes due to some chemical reaction under under the particular area, and
Uh-huh.
they come up to the surface of this and they can use that
Use
particular
it.
water. And in India too, the same thing happens.
Uh-huh.
The particular primary water came up,
How?
not how
Uh-huh.
this. Uh,
So it
if
naturally
we
came
want the
up to the
intention to,
surface. Oh
it
wow.
came up to
Oh,
the
huh,
surface.
huh, huh, huh. Those people are very lucky, right?
Yeah,
And
they are
blessed,
lucky.
no?
Even some areas they are detecting the presence of primary water.
Huh, 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 huh.
Mean how they are different from that of the texture and normalities. How are different from that of our primary water. No,
Mm-hmm.
normal water. Normal
Normal.
surface water and primary water is different in its taste and different in its texture.
Mm-hmm.
Water doesn't have texture, but we could easily categorize those both.
Mm-hmm. Okay, okay. Uh-huh.
And how thank you for such an providing me an opportunity to
Mm-hmm.
showcase about this primary water. And first of all, I'll thank Sanjeevana and team for this opportunity, as he helped me to share this idea all over to all over to the world.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Okay, thank you, Sanjeevana, for that.
Thank you, Adarsh.
For
Thank you so much, Mr.
what?
Adarsh.
Thank
And
you,
it was a
thank
great pleasure having you. And thank you so much for all this
you.
research and like gathering all this information and presenting it so nicely to everybody. And if
Okay,
somebody
thank
really
you.
wants to like get in contact with Mr. Adarsh and know about his work or even support his work, we'll be putting all his details in the post as well as the videos. So anybody can contact Mr. Adarsh, and hope we sincerely wish like your all these good things you do will help many generations ahead. And we wish you the very best, Mr. Adarsh. Thank you so much for joining us today.